Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Look into your heart for a moment. Is there a dream sleeping there? A goal you yearn to achieve? A problem you desperately wish would vanish? Perhaps it's a career you want to build, a skill you want to master, a financial hardship you're struggling with, or a spiritual connection you long to strengthen. And in the quiet moments, what is your prayer? Is it, "Oh Allah, just make it happen. Send me a sign. Send me a miracle." There is no doubt in the power of dua. It is the weapon of the believer. But I am here today to tell you that a weapon is useless if you leave it sheathed. Your prayer is the soul of your endeavor, but action is its body. The concept of tawakkul, often translated as trust in Allah, is one of the most beautiful yet frequently misunderstood pillars of our faith. It is not a spiritual license for inaction. It is not a divine permission slip to sit back and wait for the heavens to part. To believe so is to confuse trust with neglect and to mistake hope for a strategy. True tawakkul is, in fact, the ultimate divine partnership, a dynamic, active, and deeply spiritual collaboration between the believer and the Creator. It is the seamless integration of asbab, sa'i, worldly means, and tawakkul, so spiritual trust, where our effort becomes the physical manifestation of our faith, and Allah's decree is the divine completion of our striving. Imagine a man who comes to the edge of a vast, uncultivated field. He prays with immense sincerity, "O Allah, provide me with wheat. Grant me a bounty so that I may feed my family and give charity." His heart is pure, his intention is sound. But then he returns to his home and waits. He watches the field day after day, expecting golden stalks of grain to spontaneously sprout from the barren earth. We would look upon this man not as a paragon of faith, but as one who has failed to understand the fundamental laws that Allah has embedded within His creation. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, did not design this world for wishes to materialize from thin air. He designed it as a system of cause and effect. The provision of wheat is tied inextricably to the cause of planting seeds. The prayer for the harvest is the soul of the endeavor, but the ploughing, the sowing, the watering, and the weeding are its indispensable body. To have one without the other is to be a soul without a body, ethereal and ineffective, or a body without a soul, lifeless and without blessing. This is the essence of the divine partnership. Our role in this partnership is to engage wholeheartedly with the world of causes. We are required to pick up the plow. We are commanded to use the intellect, the hands, the feet, and the resources that Allah has bestowed upon us. Seeking knowledge is a cause for understanding. Applying for a job is a cause for provision. Mending a broken relationship through apology and communication is a cause for reconciliation. Studying for an exam is a cause for success. These actions are not contrary to tawakkul, they are its very prerequisites. They are the tying of the camel that the Prophet Muhammad's PBH instructed. When a companion asked him, "O Messenger of Allah, shall I tie my camel and trust in Allah, or leave her untied and trust in Allah?" He replied, "Tie her and then trust in Allah." This simple, profound command lays bare the entire philosophy. The tying is our domain. The safety of the camel thereafter is Allah's domain. To leave her untied while professing trust is not faith, it is folly. It is an abdication of the responsibility that Allah has entrusted to us as His vicegerents on earth. Allah's role in this partnership is that of Al-Muzahib, the causer of causes, and Al-Muqaddir, the determiner of all outcomes. He is the one who infuses our efforts with barakah, blessing, making a single hour of work more productive than a month of toil without His grace. He is the one who opens doors we did not even know existed, who creates opportunities from seeming dead ends, and who accepts the tiny, sincere seed of our effort and makes it grow into a tree of immense benefit. Our action is the vessel, His help is the rain that fills it. A vessel must be placed under the sky to receive the rain. It cannot receive a drop if it is stored away in a dark cupboard, waiting for the rain to find it. This is why the Quran consistently links Allah's help to human action. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. The divine change, the miracle, if you will, is conditional. It follows our own internal and external transformation. It is a response, not a random occurrence. When we internalize this principle, it revolutionizes our entire approach to life's challenges and dreams. The student who understands this does not merely pray for a good grade on the night of the exam. He trusts that Allah will make his hours of study fruitful. The entrepreneur does not just pray for profit, he trusts that Allah will bless his meticulous planning, his ethical dealings, and his relentless pursuit of excellence. The person seeking healing does not only pray for cure, he trusts that Allah will bless the medicine, the doctor's expertise, and his own efforts to maintain a healthy lifestyle. In this paradigm, every action, no matter how mundane, becomes an act of worship. The sweat on the brow of a laborer, the late night spent studying, the difficult conversation had for the sake of truth, all of it is elevated to the status of ibadah when performed with the intention of fulfilling our role in this divine covenant. Therefore, to stop waiting for miracles is not to lose faith in Allah's power. It is to fully embrace the system He has created for us. It is to recognize that the greatest miracle may not be the parting of a sea, but the strength and courage He places in your heart to take the first step towards it. The miracle is the resilience He grants you after a failure. The miracle is the clarity He provides after a sincere prayer for guidance. The miracle is the unseen help He sends in the form of a chance meeting, a sudden idea, or a helping hand, all of which are activated by your own movement. So, let us cease our passive waiting. Let us approach our dreams and our duties not as hopeful spectators, but as active, trusted partners in a divine plan. Fulfill your part with excellence, strive with every fiber of your being, and then, with a heart serene and full of absolute certainty, place your trust in the best of partners, for truly Allah helps those who take action. The divine promise encapsulated within the verse, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves, stands as one of the most profound and universal laws governing human existence as laid out in the Quran. It is a principle of cosmic justice and divine order, a spiritual and practical roadmap for individual and collective transformation. To understand this verse is to grasp the engine of history, the rhythm of civilizational rise and fall, and the very mechanism of personal destiny. It dismantles any notion of fatalistic helplessness and places the reins of change firmly and initially in the hands of humanity. This is not a passive observation, but an active, dynamic formula. It is Allah's irrevocable covenant that our external reality is, in its essence, a reflection and a consequence of our internal state. The condition referred to is all-encompassing. It is our state of peace or turmoil, our wealth or poverty, our security or fear, our honor or disgrace. And the change required is equally comprehensive, beginning in the unseen realm of the heart and mind, before it can ever manifest in the visible world of circumstance. This process of change must be understood as a journey from the inside out. The first and most critical battlefield is the inner world of the individual, the das-nafs. What is it that we must change within ourselves? It begins with our intentions and niyah. A soul that intends laziness will find excuses, while a soul that intends excellence will find ways. It involves our beliefs and perceptions. A mind shackled by the belief that things will never get better, or I am not capable, has already laid the foundation for its own stagnation. This internal defeatism becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, a spiritual poison that paralyzes the will before the body even has a chance to move. Changing what is in ourselves, therefore, starts with a revolution of consciousness. It requires replacing the whisperings of despair with the remembrance of Allah's power and mercy. It means trading the toxic narrative of I can't for the foundational belief of the believer, with the help of Allah I can. This internal shift is the primary jihad, the greatest struggle, because it is from this fertile soil that all external actions will grow. A corrupt tree cannot bear sound fruit, and a heart content with its own limitations cannot summon the courage to alter its reality. Once this internal reorientation begins, it must inevitably translate into external action. The change within is the spark, but action is the flame that lights the way. This is where the principle moves from the metaphysical to the practical. Consider a community suffering from poverty. The internal change would be a shift from a mindset of dependency and complaint to one of self-reliance, gratitude, and ambitious striving. The external change would then be the collective action that follows acquiring new skills, starting businesses, building cooperative networks, and demanding justice through proper channels. The poverty will not lift by mere prayer and lamentation. It will lift when the people, driven by their renewed internal state, begin to behave like a people who are capable of creating wealth and opportunity. Similarly, a person seeking knowledge must first change their internal state from one of arrogance to one of humility, from distraction to focus. The external change is then the disciplined act of attending lectures, reading books, and engaging in study. The knowledge will not magically descend upon them. It will be granted by Allah as a direct result of the path they have chosen to walk. This divine law also functions as a profound explanation for the cycles of nations throughout history. Why do great empires crumble? Why do oppressed peoples eventually attain victory? The Quranic lens provided by this verse shows us that it is never an arbitrary event. A society that changes its internal moral compass from justice to corruption, from integrity to deceit, from unity to division, is a society that has actively begun to alter its own destiny for the worse. Allah will not single-handedly sustain their power. Their external condition of strength and dominance will inevitably collapse to mirror their internal rot. Conversely, a people who are oppressed but who work to change their internal state, cultivating patience, fortitude, unwavering faith, and strategic wisdom, are, even in their state of apparent weakness, laying the groundwork for their eventual liberation. Their external condition will change because they have fulfilled the prerequisite. They have planted the seeds of dignity and effort, and Allah, as a matter of His promised law, will cause those seeds to grow. This removes any sense of victimhood and instills a sense of profound responsibility. We are not merely recipients of our fate, we are active participants in its creation. Ultimately, this principle is the ultimate manifestation of Allah's perfect justice and wisdom. It would be unjust for Allah to change the condition of a people who are content with their own moral and spiritual degradation. Likewise, it would be against His wisdom to leave unrewarded the striving of those who purify their hearts and exert their bodies in pursuit of righteousness. The system is perfectly balanced. Our initial action to change ourselves is the small, seemingly insignificant push that sets a vast and powerful machinery in motion. It is our proof of earnestness, our down payment on the future we desire. It is the dua of the limbs, a silent and powerful supplication that confirms the dua of the tongue. When we take that first step to change a habit, to seek knowledge, to repair a relationship, or to stand for a truth, we are not working alone. We are activating a divine law. We are, in effect, giving Allah the permission to intervene in our affairs. We are moving our vessel into the path of the rain. The change within, the faith, the intention, the courage is our act of worship. The change without, the help, the success, the relief is Allah's response. This is the unbreakable covenant. The universe itself is programmed to respond to the one who strives to change, for in their striving, they are aligning themselves with the divine will for growth, progress, and the relentless, beautiful motion toward the light.